Chapter 1. The Birth of Lobotomy. The concept of lobotomy, a term that may conjure images of grim asylums and crude surgeries, was born in the early 20th century, thanks to the work of Portuguese neurologist Antonio Egas Moniz. Moniz pioneered the prefrontal lobotomy, a surgical procedure that sought to alleviate severe mental disorders by severing connections in the brain's prefrontal cortex. This technique, to put it mildly, was controversial, and often led to severe cognitive and emotional impairment. Chapter 2. The Rise of Chemical Lobotomy. As the 20th century progressed, the surgical lobotomy fell out of favor, but the underlying concept didn't disappear. Instead, it evolved and took on a new form: chemical lobotomy. Chemical lobotomy involves the use of drugs to impact brain function, often with the intent to manage or suppress symptoms of mental disorders. The first widely used chemical lobotomizing agent was chlorpromazine, introduced in the 1950s. Marketed under the name Thorazine in the United States, this drug was initially touted as a miracle cure for a range of mental illnesses. Its use, however, was not without controversy. Detractors argued it was simply a means of control, a chemical straitjacket, if you will, rather than a genuine treatment. Chapter 3. The Evolution of Chemical Lobotomy. As the decades rolled on, the range of drugs employed for chemical lobotomy expanded. From antipsychotics to mood stabilizers, these medications all share a common goal: to alter brain function and, in doing so, manage the symptoms of mental disorders. Yet, the ethical and practical implications of this approach continue to spark debate. Chapter 4. The Ethical Dilemma. Today, the use of medications for mental health is commonplace, and for many, these drugs offer a lifeline, a means to live a fulfilling life despite their mental health challenges. But the shadow of chemical lobotomy looms over these practices. The line between treatment and control can be a thin one, and the potential for abuse is ever present. In summary, chemical lobotomy represents a complex and contentious chapter in the history of psychiatry. Its evolution from crude surgical procedures to sophisticated drug therapies mirrors the broader development of the field, reflecting changing attitudes towards mental health and the continuous quest for effective treatments. Yet the ethical implications of chemical lobotomy persist. The balance between treatment and control, between help and harm, remains a delicate one. This is a reminder that the quest for mental health treatment is not just a scientific endeavor, but a deeply human one, fraught with moral and ethical challenges that require our continuous scrutiny and consideration.